Good morning, students. Welcome to the next concept, that is the solubility of gas in liquid. So, in the last class we discussed about the solubility of a solid in liquid. Today we are going to discuss about the solubility of gas in liquid. See here, whenever the solute and solvent combines with each other, there is a formation of solution. So, here as we are telling the solubility of gas in liquid, it means here the solute itself is a gas and the solvent will be the liquid. And which type of the solution? It will be a liquid solution because our solvent is present in the liquid state. So, example for the that is the gas dissolved in liquid. Example for the liquid solution, you can say that oxygen is dissolved in water. Okay. So, the solubility of gas in liquid, we have to, the gas must be dissolved in the liquid. Example, oxygen is dissolved in water. That is why the aquatic life is surviving. So, the oxygen is dissolved in the water, and even we can say that in soft drinks or soda water, the CO2 gas is dissolved in the water. So, these are the example we can say that where the gas is dissolved in the liquid. Okay. Now, let us go for the effect of pressure on the solubility. So, here take a container, okay, and I am going to add liquid, okay, and what we are discussing, the solubility of gas in liquid. I took the liquid. Now, let us consider this is a gas which we want to dissolve in the liquid. So, up to this it is a liquid, and whatever upper part is there, this is a gas. Okay. We are going to dissolve this gas in the liquid. Suppose there is a piston above it. Simply think like this, it is a piston. Now, I will draw one more diagram. See here, we want to dissolve the gas in liquid. Previously it is in the without any pressure or anything. This solution is in the dynamic equilibrium. During that time there is a liquid layer where we want to dissolve the gaseous layer. Now, I am applying the pressure by using the piston. As the piston moves with the pressure, what happens? More amount of the gas get dissolved in the liquid. So, as the pressure increases, the solubility of gas in the liquid increases. Are you getting my point? Previously there is a liquid layer and gas which we are dissolving upper that. As I am applying the pressure by using the piston, what happens? More gas will going to be dissolved in the liquid. as it is dissolving in the liquid means that is the solubility. Okay, as more the pressure, the solubility will going to be increase. Increase in the pressure there is a increase in solubility. Okay, as the pressure is increased, the solubility will going to be increased. So let us go for the one law, that is what we called as Henry's law, which is very important. See here, the Henry's law gives the quantitative relationship between solubility and pressure. The Henry's law gives the quantitative relationship between solubility and the pressure. Okay, so see here, so this is the liquid where we are dissolving the gas. Okay, by applying the pressure. So, okay, whatever the pressure exerted, that makes the gas to get dissolved more and more. So, let us go for the Henry's law statement. The law states that the partial pressure of gas in the vapor phase is directly proportional to mole fraction of gas in the solution. So, this is the statement. So, I will tell you how this partial pressure acts. See here. The pressure exerted by the gas, that is the partial pressure we are going to take. Partial pressure means the pressure exerted by the individual gas. The partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase, because this gas is present in the vapor phase. Some of the gas is dissolving in the liquid and some gas will be above in the liquid. As the gas is getting dissolved, so that the partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase is directly proportional to mole fraction. Why we use the term mole fraction? We means Henry. See here, as the pressure is increasing, the more gas is getting dissolved. It means the solubility is increasing. As the solubility is increasing, solubility means the concentration, the maximum amount of the solute present in the solvent. So, the concentration is increasing. As you know, the concentration is measured by many terms like mole fraction and mass by volume percentage, volume percentage. So, the Henry chose that mole fraction. Henry chose the term mole fraction. So, here as pressure is applying, which type of the pressure it is? The partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase. As it is increasing, what happens? More the gas getting soluble. It means the solubility is increasing. Solubility is nothing but concentration is increasing. The concentration is measured in terms of many terms like mass by mass percentage, volume by volume percentage and mole fraction. In that Henry chose mole fraction. So if the pressure is increasing, the mole fraction will also going to be increased. That's why there is a directly proportional relationship is explained. So once again I will explain the statement. The partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas present in the solution. So there is a gas above the liquid, there is a gas inside the liquid. This pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas present in the solution. So if we go for the mathematical relationship of the Henry's law, what is the statement? The partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase, the partial pressure is indicated by the P, which is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas in the solution. I will write it as X. Okay, and this constant, this proportionality constant is replaced by one more constant, that is Kh into X. So this is the mathematical representation of the Henry's law, where P is the partial pressure of gas in the vapor phase. Okay, and X is the mole fraction of gas in the solution, and Kh is the Henry's law constant. Henry's law constant. Okay, statement and mathematical expression both are very important. The statement itself I have explained just now, and this is the mathematical representation of the Henry's law. The partial pressure directly proportional to the mole fraction, and this proportionality constant is replaced by one more constant Kh. P is equals to Kh into X, where P is the partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase and X is the mole fraction of the gas in the solution, and Kh is the Henry's law constant. If we go for the graphical representation of this concept, means you are going to get the graph like this. Suppose if I draw, this is the partial pressure and this is the mole fraction, you are going to get a straight line which is passing through the origin. So as the partial pressure and mole fraction are directly proportional, if it increases it will increase, if it decreases that will also decrease. So when we draw the partial pressure versus mole fraction graph, you are going to get a straight line which is passing through the origin. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. P is equals to Kh into X. This is the Henry's law, the mathematical form of the Henry's law. And then now I want to know the unit of the Kh, that is Henry's law constant. See here, this is the mole fraction. For mole fraction we don't have any unit because it is a number of moles. So there is no unit, means the unit of the Henry's law constant is same as that of the unit of the pressure, like Pascal or bars. In terms of whatever the unit of pressure is there, the same unit is used for the Henry's law constant. And one more thing, if I want, this expression can also be written in this form. See here, Kh keep as it is, X moves from this side and the pressure you take it as constant, what happens? This equality sign goes to proportional. KH is inversely proportional to the mole fraction. Keep in mind, KH is inversely proportional to the mole fraction. Higher the value of KH, lesser will be the solubility. Mole fraction means what? Solubility itself. Mole fraction means what? Solubility itself. So, larger the or higher the value of KH, as the value of the KH is more, then what about the solubility? Solubility decreases. Solubility decreases, and if lesser the value of KH, the solubility will going to be increase, because the relationship is inversely proportional, not directly. So, as the value of KH increases, the solubility decreases. As the value of KH decreases, the solubility will going to be increase. So, this is how we can explain the Henry's law, which is very important. You need to know the definition, mathematical expression, and how the KH and solubility are interlinked with each other. Okay. So, let us go for the applications of the Henry's law. As you know, the Henry's law representation is P is equals to KH into X. Okay. So, this is the mathematical expression for the Henry's law. Now, we will discuss about the applications of the Henry's law. So, first one, scuba divers. Okay. See here, scuba divers or sea divers, you might be heard the term. So, the scuba divers, whenever they go deep inside the sea or ocean, whenever they go inside the ocean, what happens? There is a increase in the pressure. Okay. So, the atmospheric pressure, whatever the gases are there, there is a increase in the pressure occurs. As the pressure increases, you know it, as the pressure increases, what happens? The solubility of the gas will going to be increase, as pressure is directly proportional to solubility. So, whenever the scuba diver go inside the ocean, what happens? There is an increase in the pressure. As there is an increase in the pressure, there is a more solubility of a nitrogen gas inside the blood will going to be occur. As the scuba diver will going to carry a air tank. Okay. So, whatever the air he is consuming, that will going to be soluble more or higher quantity in the blood. So, the nitrogen content in the blood will going to be increase. Why the nitrogen? The solubility of nitrogen in the blood increases because the pressure is increasing inside the ocean. The pressure is increasing. The nitrogen in the blood will going to be increase. So, the more solubility of nitrogen in blood is toxic. Is toxic. And suppose if he come outside that ocean, when he comes up, what happens? The pressure is decreasing. We go inside means the pressure is increasing. So, as he comes up from the sea, what happens? The pressure goes on decreasing. The pressure goes on decreasing, and the dissolved nitrogen in the blood starts to come up in the form of bubbles. The dissolved nitrogen releases in the form of the bubbles. So, this blocks, this release of the nitrogen bubbles will going to block the capillaries. So, this condition is said to be bends. This condition is said to be a bends. See here, when the scuba diver go on inside the sea. When he goes inside the sea, there is an increase in the pressure. As the pressure increases, the solubility of nitrogen in the blood will also going to be increased. As the solubility of nitrogen increases, that will be more toxic. And when he comes up, what happens? The pressure goes on decreasing. As the pressure goes on decreasing, the dissolved nitrogen comes in the form of bubbles. These bubbles will going to block the capillary, and such a condition is called as bends. So in order to avoid all this effect, the tanks of the scuba diver is diluted with the helium. Okay, so the air tank of the scuba diver has the composition of helium 11.7%, and nitrogen is present in the 56.2%, oxygen is present in the 32.1%. The air tank is filled with helium because the helium is less soluble. The helium is less soluble, that's why we used the helium. So this is how the problem of the scuba diver is solved by using the helium, as helium is less soluble. Okay, so this is the first application of the Henry's law, that is regarding scuba diver. I hope you are getting. And the second one is, as you know, soda water, or in case of soft drinks, what happens? Or soft drinks. In case of soda water and soft drinks, the carbon dioxide is dissolved. Okay, the carbon dioxide is dissolved under the higher pressure. The soda water and soft drinks bottles are sealed under the higher pressure. As the pressure increases, the more CO2 will going to be soluble in that. That's why we can give soda water or soft drinks where carbon dioxide is dissolved at the higher pressure. Carbon dioxide is dissolved at the higher pressure. So this is the second example. And the third example is in the higher altitude. When we move towards the higher altitude, so what happens? Towards the higher altitude, the pressure decreases. The pressure decreases. When we go upside, that is a higher altitude, means there is a pressure will going to be decreased. As the pressure decreases, the solubility decreases. The dissolved oxygen is less. The oxygen dissolves in the blood is less. Okay, so as the oxygen in the blood that is the content of the oxygen in the blood becomes less, so whoever the person went towards the altitude, what happens? He cannot able to think properly. Okay, he feels weak. Such a condition is known as anoxia. Such a condition is known as anoxia. So these are the three applications of the Henry's law. The first one is regarding the scuba divers, how that concept is explained, which is already completed. And the second one is that is CO2 is dissolved in the soda water at the higher pressure, and the third one is anoxia condition, that is when the person goes to the higher altitude. So this is how we can explain the applications of the Henry's law. Thank you.